Did you grow up having to be the responsible one? Let's talk about it. Hey, ladies, did you grow up a latchkey kid? Did you grow up walking yourself to school? All the different things that we deal with as being Gen X. Gen X, we were so independent by default. I sit back and think, I was a latchkey kid. And my mom, my mom and my dad were married and they got divorced when I was probably around like maybe 9, 10, somewhere around that age range. And my mom had to work. My dad, he was doing his own thing. He wanted to be in the streets. He wanted to drive the Cadillacs, be in the suits. He wanted to take his money, do his thing. He wanted to be out there in them streets. Then he wound up meeting somebody else, marrying her. Then he left her. Well, he ain't leave her, but he wanted to be in the streets. I think they even got divorced. I don't know. But let me tell you something. Heal that inner child. I have been very vocal about having a father wound. I did a video on it. I'll probably link it somewhere around here so you guys can check it out when you get a chance. I was triggered. That's why I had made that video. But it also let me know that I do know that there's so many women out here who grew up without a father, and especially in my generation and in this generation as well. They're just men who do that. And there are women that do it as well. There are women who don't take care of their kids as well. So women and men have mother wounds and father wounds. But I'm going to speak from my perspective of having a father wound. But when I tell you I have come a long way, I've come a long way. But we're going to talk about just healing the inner child in you. Okay? However that might look. And even if you did come from a 2-parent household, or you came from a single parent household, or you may have maybe you went through foster care, however that might look, because, sometimes we forget about different sectors and populations of kids. I grew up in a neighborhood where I saw a family with foster children where they were loved on and, some weren't loved on. It's just, and even in school, my brain is going fast. I told you guys, when my brain go fast, my mouth get a little because I'm trying to say too much. It doesn't matter how you grew up. We all have something inside of us that we have to heal. Even the most perfect home. Because from the outside looking in, I've seen families that portray to be perfect. But then when things happen in life, you can tell if a kid was actually happy, it shows through how they treat their parents. I said what I said. But in saying all of that, I want you to know that you deserve to be cared for, even at this adult age, and even that inner child inside of you. I cater to that little girl inside of me so much. And I feel like me catering to that little girl inside of me has helped me heal so much from my father wound, and just me being a woman who may have dated and felt like I may have picked bad, or I may have had bad situations, however that might look. But I also have to understand where I grew up too. We get so caught up in saying, oh, I picked the wrong person, this, that, and the third, you should have waited. No, we have to look at our demographics. You normally have, when you're dating, you normally are dating within 10-mile radius. Not unless you go to college or something like that. But you're usually dating in your neighborhood, or you're dating around your neighborhood. And 9 times out of 10, those gentlemen or those women that you're dating, they got trauma too. I don't care. I grew up in the South Bronx, and I know for a fact there were so many people who grew up with a bunch of mess. Okay. I look at some guys that I know that don't have any children, or they're just dating, and they came from 2-parent households, but they won't even tap into getting married, or they sit back and say, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. Yeah. Our household grooms us. It grooms us to what we want or what we don't want. That's how I see it. And this is my opinion. You can chime into and let me know. So what are some wounds that can be presented or noticeable that you grew up too soon? So your parents may not have been around that much. Your parents may have been working, not in the home a lot. And not by not wanting to raise you good, but just just due to the fact the way the economy was back then. Your parent had to work. You know, my mother had to work to make sure that it was food on the table. We had clothes on our backs. We had the bills paid and things like that. And we had good Christmases, and we had, you know, the Easter outfits and birthdays and going out to dinner every now and then. My mother made sure of that. We didn't miss a meal. My brother is a big guy. So at the end of the day, did not miss a meal, okay? None. Just being in survival mode. Again, me having to had been at home by myself, making sure that, you know, I made myself something to eat, even if it was prepared by my mom. I could, you know, heat it up in the microwave. You know, at the time we didn't get a microwave till later on, because microwaves came out much later on. But heating it up, if it's on the stove top, heating it up in the oven. We did have a toaster oven, so you could put it on the foil paper and then let it kind of like heat up that way. So, oh, it's like so nostalgia right now. But, you know, just being in survival mode. And then emotional neglect. Me not growing up with my father and seeing that he can pour love into other people and other females and other women, but not into me. And then also him like watching the fact that he did not pour into my brother. I felt my brother might have needed him more than I did. As we grow up older, you know, you realize that. But I feel like men need that male structure, and women need that father structure too. You know, you need that. But I think I was so strong, but I still wanted it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, because even to today, I struggle with talking to him, because now he wants to be in my life, because he, girl, watch the video. Watch the video. You'll see it, you know. But also, how childhood wounds show up in your adult life. I can sit and say, for me, rejection, it can show up like even in the workplace, in relationships. I feel like it might be a personal attack on me, but in all reality, it's not a personal attack on me. That's just a trauma response, because it's making me realize something that had happened to me before, and this is how it felt. So then I have to regulate myself and say, hey, Kelly, cut the crap. You know what I want to say. But I have to, regulate that and understand how things show up. But I really feel, I can definitely tell that it took me a while, because hey, I'm almost 50 here. It took me a while to get it together. And I'm so happy for therapy, because I'll sit back and I think, if I never went to therapy, I would have been a 50-year-old woman still running around here with probably a juvenile brain in some aspect of my life, because you don't heal and you don't grow. So I am thankful for that. So how can you reconnect with your inner child? How can you reconnect with your inner child? Let's see. My therapist told me to do this, and I have not yet done it. I'm going to do it. I wrote the letter to my father. I didn't give it to him. I wrote it to myself. And I wrote it to myself, and I left it there. I put it in my notes app. So it's there. If I ever chose to want to print it out or something like that, copy and paste, put it in a Word doc and print it out, give it to them, that's fine. But writing letters to your younger self, different times. So for me, like that 9-year-old girl or that teenage girl, that young adult girl, or young lady, I should say, to that 30-year-old woman who thought she was never going to get it together, to that 40-year-old woman being hard on herself that she didn't have together, but she did have it together. And to this woman here I am today, you can't tell me shit. Do you hear me? Nothing. You can't. I am so proud and happy of the woman that I am today. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely. I don't make mistakes and say, oh, I'm human. I'm still working on myself. No. I just make mistakes. Sometimes you think you make the best decision and you just really don't. But I learn from them. I have a different perspective on them. I've come a long way, guys. And if I do have any friends that are up here who watch some of my friends do watch my videos. They have their lives too. They're busy. They're doing their thing. And I'm so proud of each and every one of them because we've all come a long way. I love you, girl. But doing things that brought you joy. Let me tell you something. I do so many things that I know my younger self would have loved to do. Like 2 weeks ago, I was in a whole arcade having a good time playing Pac-Man, playing Donkey Kong, playing Ninja Turtles, all the games, having a good time. I love shooting games, basketball. I never played basketball, but just love it. I had the best time of my life, and I feel like I do things like that to ground myself. You don't have to always be sitting at Tiffany's. We love those type of things, but it doesn't always have to be fancy. Being at the best restaurant, being here, being there. Those things are definitely nice because I do love those things, time and place. But taking care of that inner child is so important. You have to do it. You have to do it. So doing things that bring you joy, take yourself out, buy yourself something, go to Five Below and get a bunch of Swedish fish, go get some now and laters, go get you some Boston baked beans, get you some lemon heads, some Alexander grapes, get you all the old school candies to make yourself feel good. Don't eat too many because we ain't trying to lose our teeth. We too old to be losing our teeth at this point, okay? Be easy. Be easy. And affirmations of safety and love. You are worthy. You love yourself. All the different things. Talk to yourself. You're not crazy. What you're doing is you're putting yourself first and you're letting that inner child in you know that the outer you are protecting her or him on the inside. Because that inner child never goes away. I don't care what nobody say. You ever sat back and you did something, you like, ooh, I feel like a kid again. Because that inner child is there. That inner child, and it's like you always have to tap in and have a good time. Just do it. Just do it. So, last but not least, reparenting yourself. I had a hard time figuring this part out, like reparenting myself, and is that even healthy? Is it safe? And I had to sit back and say, Kelly, just try it. It was tough. It was hard. But I had to create the care that I didn't receive. And that was the care that I didn't get from my father. So I reparent myself in doing things that I would have wanted to be done for me from that standpoint. Now, somebody might say you can never get that back. You can't. You can't never, because you can never get what you didn't have, but you know what you want. So then you provide yourself with the things that you want. Okay? Yeah. And speak to yourself gentle. Be easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love on yourself. When your body needs to rest, rest. Don't push yourself more than you need to. Be gentle, be kind, and speak life into yourself. And do the things that make you happy whenever you want to do it. Whenever you want to do it. Like, I went to the gym. Like, I slacked, y'all. I've been having a good time. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You go onto my Instagram. I've been just posting, having a good time. I use my Instagram just as a place for me to just have fun. Just have fun. I'm not trying to curate it to, make it, people say, take your social media serious. I do. It's serious enough for me. I want to take this time that I have here and live out my life, however that might be. Leave my digital footprint, have a good time, and all the things. Because if I can sit here and have these vulnerable conversations with you and do all the things, I gotta show it as well. I tell you all the time, live your best life. Live for yourself. Live within reason. Pour into yourself. How can I tell you to do that and then I don't do that? My social media will display that. Kelly's going to live out her best life. Do you hear me? That's just what it is. I was gonna share something, but we're gonna wait to share that. We're gonna wait to share that. Because I feel like I just want to vomit and just share it. Vomit in a good way. And just share. But I have one more thing. Let me find it here. I want to leave you with an affirmation. I gotta leave you with a good affirmation. And that is, she is still you, and she is finally safe. And that's that little girl inside of you. And that's how I feel now. I really feel like I'm in a good place and I'm safe. And I've created that safe space for myself. And I recommend every woman, every guy, every male to do that for themselves. If whatever kind of wound that you might have, father wound, mother wound, heal it. Heal it yourself. Because you want to live your best life and you don't want to be miserable. And trust me, there were times when I was miserable and I was so mad at my father. And I'm not mad at him anymore. But I just feel like I don't need you in my life. Because you weren't there. Watch the video. And saying all of that, if you enjoyed this conversation, share it with another Black woman over 40. And I will catch you in the next conversation.